I want to say the two words everybody's waiting on that you get us all. I want to say the two words. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
By the year 2000, striking out of the hardcore legend, just Randy Orton's bitch.
Our story takes us back to the year 2003, a time when Randy Orton, a rising star, was making waves in the WWE. As a member of Triple H's powerful faction, Evolution, Orton wasn't just any rookie. He was seen as the future of wrestling. He had all the tools, charisma, an athletic physique, and the ultimate mentor group with Triple H, Ric Flair, and Batista by his side. But Orton's identity wasn't just rooted in Evolution. He had crafted a second, more sinister persona, the Legend Killer. Young, ruthless, and dripping with arrogance, Orton's mission was simple: to establish his name by defeating, humiliating, and sometimes outright brutalizing WWE's most beloved legends. With Evolution's backing and a deadly RKO, he made it clear he was here to carve a path to greatness. And by 2003, that meant crossing paths with one man known as the hardcore legend, Mick Foley. But if you think this is just another feud, wait until you hear the lengths both men went to. In early 2003, Foley was semi-retired. He'd been an on and off presence in the WWE, more known for his commentary and special appearances. But on an episode of Monday Night Raw, Foley was being honored for his career accomplishments. The WWE wanted to celebrate his career, acknowledging Foley as the man who redefined hardcore wrestling. That night, the stage was set for a celebration of Foley's resilience, the countless risks he'd taken, and the legendary battles he'd fought. But Randy Orton, alongside Ric Flair, had other plans. As Foley stood at the top of a staircase, Orton and Flair blindsided him, sending him plummeting down a flight of stairs. This wasn't just an ambush. It was a statement from Orton: the Legend Killer was here to make his mark, and Mick Foley was just the beginning. The following month saw Foley keep his distance. But as 2004 arrived, Orton pushed his luck, taunting Foley relentlessly. On one episode of Raw, Orton, holding his Intercontinental Championship with his smug grin, challenged Foley to a match. But surprisingly, Foley refused, walking away. And that's when Orton unleashed a brutal insult. He called Foley a coward and, in an act of ultimate disrespect, spat directly in Foley's face. This wasn't just a verbal insult. It was Orton's way of publicly humiliating Foley, questioning his courage and legacy. For Foley, this was a step too far. The taunting, the insults, the degradation. It all began to push Foley toward a darker place. You could see it in his eyes. The hardcore legend had been awakened. The 2004 Royal Rumble was supposed to be Orton's moment to shine. He was a favorite going in. His goal clear: to continue his rise by dominating in one of WWE's most high-profile matches. But as the Rumble progressed, the countdown began, and Foley's music hit. The crowd erupted, and Orton's face fell. Foley wasn't there for the World Heavyweight Championship or to make a statement. He was there for revenge. As the match continued, Foley and Orton's paths crossed, and Foley took Orton down with his famous cactus clothesline, eliminating both of them in a dramatic move. This wasn't a casual elimination. It was Foley's declaration that he wasn't finished with Orton. The Rumble ended that night, but the real fight was only beginning. The feud reached a new peak as WrestleMania 20 approached. Foley joined forces with his old ally, The Rock, to face Evolution members Orton, Flair, and Batista in a 2-on-3 handicap match. The stakes were high, and while Foley fought valiantly, Orton ultimately pinned him, seizing the victory. This was a personal blow to Foley, who knew that if he truly wanted redemption, it had to come one-on-one with Orton. A fire had been reignited in Foley. This wasn't going to be a wrestling match, but a brutal showdown. He issued a challenge to Orton, a no-holds-barred match at Backlash. But it wouldn't be Mick Foley in that ring. It would be his most violent persona, Cactus Jack. April 18th, 2004. WWE Backlash. Orton entered the ring first, clutching a garbage can filled with weapons. But as the eerie sound of Foley's music hit, and he walked down to the ring with his trademark barbed wire bat, Barbie, and the match quickly escalated into pure chaos. Foley swung Barbie, but Orton countered with a drop toe hold onto the steel steps, grinding the bat into Foley's face and causing blood to pour. Foley fought back, taunting the crowd with Mr. again. Orton's confidence waned as he realized he was in over his head. The moment everyone was waiting for came when Foley pulled out a barbed wire board. Orton tried to fight back, throwing powder in Foley's eyes and launching him onto the board, but Foley fought through, setting up his iconic move, a thumbtack spot. Thousands of thumbtacks spread across the ring. The camera zoomed in on his bloody back. Yet, even after all this pain, Orton wasn't done. Could he possibly make it out alive? Both men, battered and bleeding, fought on. Foley, exhausted and desperate, locked Orton in the mandible claw, but Orton countered, hitting an RKO. And then, in a move that symbolized Foley and retaining his Intercontinental Championship, Orton had survived not just physically but in spirit, earning respect even from his most intense critics. In the aftermath, he wasn't simply the cocky rookie anymore. He was a legend killer who had truly earned his title. This match marked a transformation in Orton's career, proving he wasn't just a brash, arrogant heel. He was a star who could take the worst beatings in WWE history and still emerge victorious. For Foley, it was a final moment to unleash Cactus Jack's fury, cemented Orton's place as a future legend. The feud between Foley and Orton wasn't just another wrestling storyline. It was a brutal, emotional journey of revenge, respect, and redemption. And for those who witnessed it, the memory of that blood-stained night at Backlash lives on as one of the most unforgettable clashes in WWE history.